see the path to the championship. I can see it.
The Coca-Cola 600 belongs to Ryan Blaney.
Blaney's learned how to win over the last couple of months.
Blaney! Harvick! They spin behind him! It's going to be Blaney!
We're going to win this thing.
Ryan Blaney is going to win his way into the championship board.
You have to run a perfect race to get it.
Ryan Blaney is a NASCAR Cup Series champion.
What an unbelievable year. What an unbelievable playoffs for us.
This is the Team Blaney Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2024 season, episode 27 of the Team Blaney Podcast. My name is Kate Mez. Alongside me is co-host Steve Mez. That's right, it's another Team Mez takeover. As always, this podcast is brought to you by fans for fans. Collectively, we've been following the drivers of the Blaney racing family for 2 decades, and Team Blaney itself launched on social media in 2014. Each weekly episode of the podcast offers an in-depth analysis of Ryan Blaney's latest NASCAR Cup Series race, plus news, notes, and a lineup of special guests throughout the year. This week, we'll break down the number 12 team's run in the Cookout 400 from Richmond Raceway. Well, hi there.
Hello, welcome back.
Thanks.
Let's welcome Kate back to the show.
Thank you.
She's bringing the joy and the happiness from this weekend's race at Richmond. This was, we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Ryan related and not Ryan related.
Yeah.
I think we have to have an opinion. Everybody's going to have an opinion on all the podcasts and YouTube shows this week, and we will not be, outdone.
Nope.
We've got opinions too. Hopefully you agree. If you don't, that's all right. Make sure you interact with Team Blaney and all the different social medias and let us know what you think. It's interesting because it kind of depends on your point of view, who you follow, and as we'll talk about a little later, who you follow really has a lot to do sometimes with how you feel about it.
True, but we do have some other stuff to get to before we get to that.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. We'll crank it up and start off with practice. This weekend was that weekend with the 2 sets of tires, or 2 different types of tires. And practice on Saturday was a 45-minute long practice session where everybody was given 1 set of the option tire and 1 set of the regular tire to try out.
Option tires. I loved it. Go ahead.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right. I've got a solution to the problem, but, I still think they were kind of, for the most part, everybody did the same thing on strategy with them, except for 2 teams, as we'll find out during the race. But practice itself, some guys went out at the beginning of practice when the track was clear and used the option tire and put up some good practice speeds. Ryan was not one of those. Ryan ran the regular tire first. I'm going to say they ran 35, 40 laps on it. Came in halfway through, then put the option tire on, ran that for the rest of the practice, and he did end up having a lap time that jumped up the board pretty good with that option tire, but it was real hard to tell. The practice session was very, very crowded. Everybody was on the track at once for the 45 minutes. They all did, like I said, some ran the tire early, some ran it later, and more than anything else, I think everybody was looking at how their balance was and how well the tire wore over a long distance, so they knew how it was going to hopefully work out during the race. Came to qualifying, Ryan was in Group B. He was the second to last car in the group there, so when he did go out to qualify, he put a lap time up that put him right at the edge there, right at 5th, and with 1 more car to go, he did end up getting knocked out to 6th, and it was by 0.019 seconds he missed the top 10, a chance at the pole, but Group B being the inside line, he starts out 11th for Sunday in the Cookout 400, and Sunday, with the stages of 70, 230, and 400, 6 sets of the prime tires, 2 sets of the option tire, starting P11 here, and the pole was the 11 car, by the way. No cars to the rear, so nobody had any issues with practice or with their setup, where they had to change anything, and they chose pit stall number 2 behind the 11 car, and this actually was a pretty good pit stall to watch from the in-car camera, because when they do take done with a pit stop, if the 11 was out of the way, he didn't have to go around anybody. He went right through that pit stall. And I think from the second pit stall, he was still able to just punch it and not worry about any timing and scoring going too fast. Everyone starts the race on the yellows. Once again, these weren't mandated. You didn't have to use the yellow. You could use the red if you wanted to. The red being the option tire. You could have used them right off the bat. But everybody starts off this first segment. It's only 70 laps. They all start on the yellow here. By lap 3, the 24 passes, Ryan, he's in 12th. At lap 10, we're battling with the 45 here. And at lap 25, about a half second back of the 45, over a second ahead of the one car behind him, and the 11 was still leading. Lap 35 here, 10.33 back of the leader. By lap 40, is now chasing down the 24 still. And at lap 47, the 20 ends up taking the lead. And the top three at that point are the 20, the 11, and the 19. So it kind of looked like all the Toyotas were going to win this thing pretty easily. At lap 55, Ryan starts using like a high lane at each end. And, coming down across the track, across the guys running the low lane. Lap 64, the 1 does pass him. He's in 13th. And at lap 66, the 5 passes. And he moves back to 14th. And the 20 ends up winning the stage. Ryan is P14. And Ryan asks to try and free it up to see what it does. They take 4 tires here. And it's like a 9.84 pit stop. And like I said, he gets to go straight out of the pit stall. And from the in-car camera, it was really cool to watch because I kind of like, look.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm watching. I said, I know, but, to me it was exciting. And for the choose cone here, the 20 taking the bottom, Ryan taking the bottom here. And now we've got 2 cars at the start of the second stage who decide to use the option tire, at least one set of them. We take the 99 and the 34.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're restarting at lap 81, and Ryan sorts out to 15th as the 99 goes around everyone on the outside.
Like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to watch.
It was pretty cool to watch. And at lap 84, he's P14, but he's stuck behind 24 and the 23, and he's faster than these guys. By lap 91, passes the 24 to get to 13th. At lap 93, the 99 took the lead on the Reds. At lap 95, the 34 car on the Reds passes Ryan, so Ryan's back to 14th. Lap 100, Ryan says we're a little better overall, and he's just trying to go easy on the tires he has because he's not sure how long they're going to run this in the segment. Lap 105, the 99 actually has pulled out to a 3-second lead here, and Ryan talks about needing a little more turn on their pit stop. Coming up at lap 120, the green flag pitting does start. Jonathan says we're going to go about 10 more. But lap 127, they're up to P3. And sure enough, at lap 130, they do pit. And they take the yellows. And this is an 8.9 second stop on a green flag stop. Really good.
Mm-hmm.
At lap 135, he's basically trying to get the lap back. And with tires that are 10 laps fresher than a lot of guys. Lap 142, the 38 now he's on the Reds during this segment. Passes the 24. Passes and Ryan's in 24th. At lap 143, past the 48, back up to 23rd. Lap 144, passing the 14 to 22nd. Lap 147 passes the 71, get to 21st here. Lap 153 passes the 54 on the outside. This was pretty cool to watch. Up to 20th. Most of the passes are getting down underneath the guy, making the pass, in 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. But a bunch of times during the race, as the race went on, Ryan was actually able to go by them on the outside, just having a stronger car no matter what tires he was on. At lap 155, up to 16th, and some of the pitting is still continuing here. And Tim says there's 2 ahead of him on Reds, but they're backing up quick. So now the 99 and the 34 are coming back to the pack now. The tires have worn out. Lap 159, he passes the 2 car to get to 15th. At lap 162, passes the 41 car who was on Reds to get to 14th. At lap 165, passes the 4 to get to 13th. At lap 166, passes the 38 who was on Reds to get to 12th. And Jonathan says 10 to 15 more. We're doing good. Ryan says we need a touch more turn. And lap 102, I'm sorry, not 102, that's 172, I think here. Another pit cycle begins. Ryan talks about having some sort of voltage issue at this point, too. Lap 176, we're pitting from P5 at this point. This is about a 10-second stop. They're still on the yellows, so they're pretty much saving them. And at lap 182, they get the lap back, passing the 45 to get to 19th. At lap 185, passes the 2 on the outside to get to 17th. At lap 190, passes the 41 on the outside to get to 16th. Lap 195, the 24 does pass, and then the next lap, the 9 passes too. So the Hendrick cars got fast all of a sudden. Ryan's back to 18th here, and Ryan says we're a little loose on exit. And at lap 208, he does pass the 4 to get to 16th. At lap 228, passes the 47 to get to 15th. At lap 229, passes the 5 to get to 14th. And at lap 230, the 99 hung on, and he won the stage. Jonathan is talking about, thinking about 20 here, whatever 20 meant. And, Ryan says, I'm good with that call. And there's lots of teams that are going to use the option tires now. So they're pitting in 14th. They come out 14th. It's about a 10.2 second stop. And like I said, I think they go to the reds here at this point, right? The start of the third stage. The leader chooses, the 20 takes the bottom. Ryan takes the bottom. Now here's what's interesting is Ryan is running against a lot of the guys are all on the reds.
Mm-hmm.
But his car on the reds,
he was hauling the mail. That was great.
Really, really good here. The restarting at lap 240. And the 99 is not on the reds. He's trying to save a set for later. So he's the moving roadblock in front. When it all sorts out after a couple laps, Ryan's in 15th here. And here we go. Lap 247 passes the 5 to get to 14th. Lap 248 passes the 19 to get to 13th. At lap 253 passes the 47 to get to 12th. At lap 255, Tim says you're the fastest car on the track. Lap 260 passes the 9 to get to 11th. Lap 263 passes the 24 to get to 10th. At lap 265 passes the 77 to get to 9th. At lap 267 he passes the 1 to get to 8th. At lap 270, Jonathan tells him we're about 10 to 15 more laps till we, can get some tires on it. Lap 277 passes the 34 to get to 7th. At lap 278 passes the 23 to get to 6th. And a green flag cycle starts at this point, and Ryan is about 6th. So they wait a couple laps here. At lap 281, they do pit from 3rd position.
Yeah.
So they gained, what is that? They started about 14th, 15th on that, and 9 or 10 spots on the reds.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Those tires,
It was like watching a video game.
Yeah, he was just
on like a cheat mode.
What was funny is everybody else was on the reds. It wasn't like he was like the only one on reds. He was just that much better on them than anybody else. This pit stop, we're going to refer everybody to Stacking Pennies this week to explain what happens. We kind of watched it. The in-car cameras through the front windshield. Something gets hung up on the right front.
Yeah.
We're not exactly sure. Like I said, if you guys do, I'm sure, listen to Stacking Pennies, hopefully listen to Skip Flores, and I'm sure Skip will explain, what had happened here. And this is about a 7-second too long stop, basically. It ends up being about 17 seconds. And that 7 seconds kind of compiles itself over a pit cycle, forces their hand into some strategy, but the strategy actually works out in the long run, too, as we're going to find out. So at lap 290 here, P16 on the lead lap. Lap 292, we passed the 8 to get to 15th. At lap 295, P14. At lap 302, the 9 passes back to 15th, and the 11 is leading at this point. Lap 312, green flag stops begin again. Now, at lap 317, the 99 passes. We're in 16th. He's on fresher tires. But at lap 330, we're passing some lappers here. Ryan, of course, asked kind of what happened there. They didn't have time to explain, but they just said it was a little bit longer than they wanted to be. Lap 335, the leaders are starting to pit now. So Ryan does gain some track position back, staying out a little longer. And this is on purpose because these option tires, if you put them on, you don't want to run many more than 40 to 50 laps on them if you can help it. So lap 340, he's up to fourth. At lap 348, the 45 passes him. He's back to about sixth here, and they still needed to pit. At lap 353, the 23 passes, he's in seventh, and then 2 laps later, they go ahead and pit. It's a 9.4 stop, but they put the reds on. Now, a lot of other teams hung on to their reds, except for the 99, I think, at this point, and Ryan. Now, he's going to go from here to the end. If it stays green here to the end, let's see how much ground you can make back up. These tires were a second and a half quicker early on in a run, and at least a half second quicker late in a run. So at lap 264 in 16th, 1 lap down. At lap 372, he gets by the leader, who was the 3 at this point. And at lap 375, he's chasing the 47 and the 9. At lap 376, passes the 47 and 9, get to 14th. At lap 379, passes 24, gets to 13th. At lap 381, we get the 4, the 20, and the 34 pretty much all in front of him. The next 2 laps, he passes the 4 and the 34 to get to 11th. At lap 386, passes the 77, gets to 10th. At lap 392, he passes the 5 to get to 9th. So now we're top 10, and we're chasing the 20 car at this point. And at lap 397, we get a caution. The 47, the 41, I don't know what the heck was going on there. It looked like the 41 decided that he wasn't happy with the 47 or something. And it ruined what was, for Ryan's race, was going to be a decent top 10. And unfortunately for Austin Dillon, he was the best car in the last 50 laps of the race. He raced his way to the lead. He was checking out. He was going around the traffic pretty easily. There was no reason that he wasn't going to win, except for a caution.
Yeah.
So we get a green-white checker. Now, I seen a bunch of people ask questions online. Why did Ryan come in and pit? Well, everybody came in and pitted.
Yeah.
What we had was 16 cars on the lead lap. Only 2 of the 16 cars did not have the option tires anymore, and that was Ryan and the 99. The other 14 cars had the option tire. If Ryan decided to stay out, he would have been the only one, and the option tire, well, he would have been the biggest moving chicane.
Yeah.
So the people that ask that question, that's why. You got to take tires and at least try to stave off some things. What's great about it is that they put on the yellows and actually don't do bad for 2 laps with them. Considering that like I said, 14 other cars were going to be on the option tire. They go in 9th, come out 8th, so it's a great pit stop at the end there. The only yellows in front of him were the 99 car. Everyone else on the reds. The leader, the 3, took the bottom. Ryan took the bottom, hoping to try to hold some of the position. I saw a bunch of people talking about Bubba threw a big block on Ryan. Well, it may have looked like a block, but the reality is Bubba was taking off quicker on his tires than Ryan, so it really wasn't that much of a block. And a lot of those guys will hit each other. And that's the fun part, is this restart, if you're watching the restart on the replay, the 45 pushes the 22 on the outside so good that by turn 1, he has taken the lead.
Yeah.
We are listening to the scanner, so we get Tim's call of what's going on. We're watching the in-car camera, and it's out the front windshield. The in-car camera is a little bit ahead of the TV broadcast also, so is Tim. And all I saw on the white flag lap coming around 3 and 4 is this yellow blur in the distance and smoke. And you weren't sure, because there's 2 or 3 yellow cars out there. Could have been the 34, could have been the 22. So kind of waiting for TV to catch up a little bit. And then
it was like a whole lap behind.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, by the way. So yeah, we kind of knew something was happening.
Took a second, yeah.
And Tim is only saying go low, go low, go low, go low, go low, get underneath it, go low, to avoid whatever's happening up ahead. But what the 3 car does to win the race I don't know what else to say. I don't know. And the reactions to. Let's start with what he did first off. So first off, he goes into 3 and 4 and decides that he's going to use the 22's back bumper as his brakes.
Yeah.
There's no way with the and the data I'm sure shows this. There's no way that he could have went into the turn that hard. And
that's what Joey said. There was no way he was going to
make the
turn.
Make the turn.
And from what, at least from what I saw, I don't think he was going to make the turn.
So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is what he does to the 11 car, because now the 11 car makes the pass on the inside. Now, a lot of people want to say, well, the 11 car came up into him. At Richmond, when you're coming off the low lane of the turn, you naturally wash up to begin with. You can't hold it down there all the way to the line, all the way around the track, especially Richmond is a D-shaped oval, and you just kind of come up off the bottom. But the data today was released and explained by a bunch of different people, and the 3 car hooked the left. Yeah. He turned the steering wheel left hard to make sure he hit that right rear quarter panel and hook the 11 car and spin him out. Does he deserve to win the race, first off?
I mean, NASCAR didn't take it away. They said he was the winner. He got the win. There was nothing that prevented what he did, but like I was telling you over dinner, there's also no law that says I have to return my grocery cart when I'm in the parking lot after I put my groceries in the car. There's no law that says that I have to do that. I do it because, I have respect for my fellow womankind. But, I feel like there wasn't any respect, maybe, being thrown around. It was kind of a win at all costs type of. And I know you want to win. I get it. But racers don't forget.
I find a little bit of, like, some of the post-race things are very, very kind of hypocritical. Because Joey goes on a little bit of a rant as soon as they put a microphone.
He does. He does. But Joey...
That's what I'm about to say. I mean, you can be...
He's our teammate, but come on, we all know his history, too.
That's right. You could be mad, but if you've got skeletons in your closet, and similar skeletons, and just because maybe Austin didn't have a good enough excuse like you did when you did it, that's the kind of thing that's kind of sketchy about the whole situation, is that you've done this before to others yourself. So, and in the same exact manner, I think it was Darlington a couple of years ago where he ran right up through the 24 car and made sure that he got past him. Yeah. There's bump and run. There's getting him a little loose. That may be the biggest difference. So this really was, he just wrecked 2 cars on his way.
Yeah. But Austin Dillon can now look at Joey after that race and how upset he was. I'll use the word upset. That's your future, because you might have been the windshield this time, but you're going to be the bug, and people aren't going to take it easy on you because of what transpired there.
Yeah,
and you've got two that are mad, not just one.
Yeah. Denny's words were a little more calculated.
Yeah.
He more or less made a statement, more or less like the sport itself this is the sport. This is the direction it's gone. And policing it, they're just not policing it. In other words, they don't have a rule. They don't have a thing that says you can't do these things.
Yeah, technically, he could do that. I don't think that's a wise choice all the time to do, but,
I know that the older fan will be like, that's the way it is. That's just racing.
Yeah.
But there are other motorsports in the world where that is not allowed. I mean, Daniel went down to Brazil, got married, but then he raced in Brazil. And while he was down there, he pulled off a move where he was rough with somebody door to door and hit him.
I didn't think it was as rough.
It wasn't as rough as what we saw, no. But the move itself was, He doored the guy and got past him by dooring him.
And that was enough.
And down there, it's a no-no. They took away the win.
Yes, they did.
Formula One has an extensive amount of rules on how you're allowed to drive, how you're allowed to pass, and what happens if there is any kind of contact. Now, mind you, they've got marshals and stewards watching all the different footage. But then again, NASCAR has that too. Right now, the rules are set up the way they are. But what if they were to come up with a rules package where you weren't allowed to do that kind of stuff?
Well, also remember, it's a race, it's a sport. It's a great show. Look at every podcast. Who's not going to talk about it? Are you kidding? We're going to be talking about it for weeks probably. So, it's like that boys have at it kind of attitude. Like, well, now we've got a little bit of side stuff to watch during these races.
Austin, there were some things brought up about, like, because they talked to his grandfather after the race. His grandfather says nobody on the radio said anything about hitting him or taking anybody out, but he was wrong.
He was.
He obviously didn't hear it properly. But Austin's going to own this team someday. And that's going to be interesting because, would an owner... obviously his grandfather didn't mind it, but as an owner, would you really want your driver...
Well, he said that. He said, he got the win.
Yeah, as an owner, do you really want your driver to drive quite like that? Aggressive is one thing, but wasn't that a little...
Does the end justify the means? Because if you don't get payback for this, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if neither one of them or anybody pays you back for it. So you're looking at now. It's going to cost you more money because you're going to get a tore up race car because of it. And if it happens during the playoffs, then you could potentially be out of the playoffs.
Another thing about some of the post-race madness, saw a little footage a little while ago of an in-car from Joey's car going down pit road.
Yeah. Did
not really realize, I saw one thing where he kind of did a little bit of a burnout type of a thing or a little swerve in front of the three's pit box after race going down pit road, but they showed an in-car camera from his car of what he did.
Yeah.
And it was totally dangerous. There were people that were trying to go across the track, trying to get...
Yeah, you could see where they, pulled people out of the way. They jumped out of the way.
Yeah, NASCAR official, backing everybody up.
Yeah.
And that was kind of scary, too. It was a little, not a little, it's definitely aggressive that you shouldn't be doing. An aggressive move you shouldn't be doing with your car.
Yeah.
Post-race.
Again, I get it. I get you're mad. Get out of the car and tell them you're mad.
Yeah.
You don't need, that's like a weapon.
Yeah. So we usually record on Mondays, and guaranteed there'll be something either tomorrow or Wednesday that I'm sure he's going to get fined for that.
Yes. I'm sorry, Joey. Yes, you should. That was a little much for me. What about Austin?
That was my next question to you. What?
I think there should be something coming down for at least hitting Denny, I would say. Don't you think?
But the Denny thing is definite that you can tell. There's data to back that up.
Yeah. I think they both should get fined. I do.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. They're not going to obviously take the win away.
No, if you were going to do that, I feel like you should have
done it that night.
Yeah. But something I think a message needs to be sent that there was some kind of a line that was overstepped.
Everything happens in a split second too. The caution came out, but it really didn't come out until
right after Denny got hooked.
And what's kind of funny is
because that's what you said. Did the caution come out in between the two?
Right.
Because it was just enough time, but from what I tried to see every different camera angle possible, and it seemed like it was hook Denny. There's the light. There's the caution.
Yeah.
It was that quick.
They end up scoring Denny second.
Mm-hmm.
But my little thing about it at first was what if they actually called that
What if-
caution
yeah.
a hair of a second earlier while he's still being hooked?
And then you freeze the field.
And you
it
freeze
was
the field,
Denny.
and Denny being the one that wins. That would have been spectacular.
That would have been fireworks everywhere.
I have nothing really against Austin Dillon winning if he would have, like I said, if the race stays green, he earned the win.
Yeah, like you said, he was
The fastest
for the last
50 some laps of the race.
He was.
They did the strategy,
But you know
however
what?
they did.
How many times is Ryan coming down and we're just waiting and then something happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, that doesn't mean he gets to just plow the field.
No.
Until he gets to plow the field. And then take the win. I mean, no, he doesn't do that. Or he hasn't done that.
Yeah, so I don't know what, like I said, you guys online, come at us at Team Blaney. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you guys, what are your opinions about it? Maybe I'll drop a TikTok or something asking everybody to see what their opinions are, because it's up to your discretion. There are people who love Austin or who love Joey or who love Denny, and the other thing is there are a lot of people that hate of the two people to hit and knock out.
Yeah.
Joey and Denny.
Yeah, would it have been different if it was the 9 car? Would it be different if it was somebody other than the 3 car?
Yeah, what if the 5 car was doing that stuff? Or
yeah, okay. So let's say it was the 12 car that did it. Would we be saying the same things? If the 12 was now the 11 and he got hooked at the end,
oh man,
we'd be going on for the next 3 hours about it. But you got to take it from all point of views. Would your driver? How would you feel if your driver did it? How would you feel if your driver was the one that was swept up in the wrecks? I mean, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be world thrilled with it. I mean, a win, it'd be a win, but that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, it didn't really. It shuffles the playoff standings a little bit. It doesn't really necessarily shuffle the regular season standings too much. Ryan didn't gain any stage points on the day, which kind of has been something they've been really good at the last month or two as the hashtag team of the summer. But an 11th place finish for Ryan.
I wondered when you were going to get that in here.
Working it in. 11th place finish for Ryan at Richmond is actually pretty decent. He's finished 11 there a couple times.
Yeah.
It was a top 10 until the caution happened. They were at least 9th, and they were closing on the 20 car. Could have been 8th in the last lap or two. So right now, go ahead and want to read us our top 10 right now of the regular season standings.
Okay, this is regular season?
Yeah.
Okay. In 10th, we've got the 48 with Alex Bowman. In 9th, we have the 6 of Brad Keselowski. 8th, we have Martin Truex Jr. In 7th, we have William Byron. In 6th is the 20 of Christopher Bell. And in 5 is that number 12, hashtag team of the summer, Ryan Blaney. Number 4 is Denny Hamlin in the 11. In 3rd, we've got Chase Elliott. In the 2nd position, we have the 45 of Tyler Reddick. And in the 1st position is Kyle Larson and that number 5.
Now, the interesting thing about the top 10, at the end of the regular season, you finish in that top couple, you get a couple extra bonus points. Ryan is sitting 5th, is 77 points from the leader. And Denny Hamlin in 4th is 21 points from the leader. So he's got a gap to close before he could catch Denny.
Yeah.
Only 3 races to do it. What happened this weekend, though, that was interesting is Christopher Bell, moving up to 6th, is literally 1 point behind Ryan now.
Yeah.
So in the next 3 weeks, we want to hold the 20 car off, score more points than him in the next couple weeks, and win one of the next 3 races and don't have to worry about it. And then the playoff standings got all goofed up.
Okay.
So I think you should start with probably 18th now in the playoff standings, because those are the guys that are near the cut line now.
Okay, I'll start with 18th. And 18th is the 17 of Chris Buescher. He is at -3. And then in 17th, you have Ross Chastain. He is also at -3. At +3, in 16th, you've got Bubba Wallace. And at +18, you've got Ty Gibbs. At +78, that's a nice little bit of a cushion there.
Yeah.
You've got Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 machine. Okay. You're scrolling and I can't see
Oh, I'm
it.
sorry.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. In 13th, we've got the number 3 of Austin Dillon. In 12th, we've got Austin Cindric in the 2. 11th, we have the 99 of our amigo Daniel Suarez. In 10th, we've got Joey Logano. In 9th, we have Alex Bowman. In 8th, we've got the 6 of Brad Keselowski. In 7th, we've got Chase Elliott in that 9 car. In 6th, we've got the 45 of Tyler Reddick. In 5th, we've got Ryan Blaney and that number 12. In 4th, we've got William Byron. In 3rd, we have Christopher Bell. Let's see. In 2nd, we have the number 11 of Denny Hamlin. And, of course, at the top position, we've got the 5 of Kyle Larson.
So, as we look at this right now, there's 3 races left in the regular season. Everybody from Austin, Dillon up has a win. So we've got 13 teams that have a win now. Mm-hmm. It's possible we could have 16 winners still. It's possible.
It is.
And then it all depends on where the new winner comes from. Are they above the cut line? Are they below the cut line? And, the guys who come from way below the cut line, they will
shake it up.
They shake it up. The 3 races that are left are very interesting too, because it's Michigan, Daytona, and Darlington this year because of the Olympics. So you've got Daytona in the middle there, and anybody, of course, can win Daytona. Yeah. Martin Truex is in a pretty good spot. Like you said, 78 points. He's, the highest guy without a win. Should be in decent shape unless they have 3 bad weeks, basically, where 3 bad things happen.
Or 3 people that win or...
Win. Yeah, win, but not him. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Daytona. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Bubba Wallace in the last 3 or 4 weeks has done an excellent job.
He has.
He's got, if we didn't have a new winner, he would be actually, he's on the other side of the cut line. He would have been, 6 points up on somebody instead of 3. But he has passed Chastain and Buescher, and so he's got. It'd be interesting to watch the next 3 weeks how those 3 guys race against each other, and how many stage points they race for. I guarantee you, Wallace, Chastain, Buescher, between the 3 of them are all going to try to race for stage points every week.
Yeah.
Try to be in the top 10. Underneath that, do you see anybody that you think in that top 30 or whatever that could win a race here down the stretch?
You know what? That 34 of Michael McDowell. I mean, he's been up there in those,
super speed races.
Yeah, he's been up there. I mean, you turn around, and you're like, oh, there's McDowell again. Ricky Stenhouse.
I knew you were going there.
I have to. I mean,
Daytona is that great equalizer.
Yeah.
And really, truthfully, wouldn't Corey LaJoie winning at Daytona be super?
Wouldn't Ryan winning at Daytona be super?
That would be awesome. That would be totally awesome, because right now Ryan is in the 5th spot, and because he has 2 wins, everybody above him has 3 or 4 wins. So, it would be nice to get another win under your belt, so that when you get to the playoffs, you got that 5 extra bonus points. So
let's do it at Michigan.
Yeah, well, we're going to Michigan, by the way, so there'll be some Team Mez representation at Michigan. Let's get to the Fantasy Live League. There's some interesting things to report.
Okay.
Now we're gonna do this will be the top 10 from Richmond, but let's start with let's find Adam here.
Scroll. Keep scrolling. Oh, there he is. Okay,
Adam.
So Adam was in 15th. With 205. You're going to have to scroll a while.
Yeah, I'm find myself here.
Everybody take a break. Go get something to drink.
Come back.
He's going to find himself here.
I don't even know. Wow.
I think you're in the 80s, honey.
Oh, my gosh. Did it go that bad? Oh, no, 78.
Oh, 78. All right. With a 142. Mez 12.
I'm just trying to get to the finish line. I've used all my favorites, and, I was struggling hard on a lineup. I don't even know. Do I really want to even go through my lineup? Real quick, let's see if I can find it here.
At one point, the top 4 were in my lineup.
You did, didn't you? You had well, we're going to talk about your lineup in a second, because it'll end up in the top 10 here. So my lineup was...
You know, considering I missed like 2 races because I just completely forgot to do the lineup.
Yeah, here's.
He has to remind me every single week because I keep forgetting.
No, that's not.
Except this week, I remembered this week. I did it all by myself. You didn't even know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I had guys like Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, Josh Berry, Chastain, Truex, and Bowman. Truex blew up, and I couldn't get Bowman out of the garage. It didn't matter. They both scored the same amount of points on the day. So, did have Larson over Byron. I had Hamlin over Truex. I had Chase Elliott over Logano. I had Ryan over Bowman. So I actually had all 4 of the matchups correct. Let's go through the top 10 and
okay.
And then we'll talk about yours.
We actually have a 4-way tie for 8th. We were at 209 points here. So we've got Cheesehead Fan, my cousin Vinny, 723, and Clyde's Chicken Pit Racing. They were all at 209 in 8th place. In 7th place, we've got Subak 5. In 6th, we've got Blaring Idiots. In 5th, we have Dr. Dirt Chaser. They had
race. That's race.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Race Chaser at 217 points. The computer is really far away.
I'm sorry.
Okay. In 3rd, we have Big Burn with 225. In 3rd, we have Vans 12. Oh, wait, they were tied for 3rd at 225. In 2nd, we have C-Bez. Look at that with 237. And then in the top spot, we've got J.O. Lopez 1, and they had 240 points.
That's your lineup, by the way.
Oh, I wondered what you were handing me. My lineup was Denny, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Daniel Suarez. And in my garage was Zane Smith.
And you changed him out to make sure he was...
I did, yeah. Let's see. I picked Kyle Larson over William. I picked Denny over Martin. I picked Chase over Joey. And I picked Ryan. Oh, I got all 4 of them. I got Ryan over Bowman. Looks like I know what I'm doing.
And, let's see where we're at now on the overall. You don't want to know where you're at overall, do you?
I'm in like 50-something.
Okay.
But I seriously missed like at least 2 races. In 24th, we have Team Blaney host Adam with 4194. And then in 20th with 4261, we've got Mez 12.
And let's do our top 10 overall.
Top 10. Okay. In 10th, we have Go 12 Go, 4434. In 9th, we have Zero Schlitz Given. In 8th, we have Factory of Sadness 6. In 7th, we have Penske Fan 24. In 6th, we have Blaneyac 10. In 5th, we have Racer SF. 4 is Charlie A. Boo. In 3rd place, we have Alyssa C. In 2nd place, we have Frank Fan 12. And at the top spot, we've got Go Larson. And their points are 45-47.
Yeah, Frank Fan 12 is only 5 points behind him now.
Yeah, it's close.
It's close at the top. So the regular season title's got 3 more weeks to go. And, hopefully you've still got some good starts left. That's the problem with my lineup is I used Ryan up in the first 10 to 12. You only get 10 starts on a guy. So
then I lost him in like 10 then because I died.
You used him like every week.
Right away.
And guys like Larson, stuff like that, I'm out of usage on them.
Yeah.
So I get to the end of this and I got to get lucky, find a decent lineup. Like I said, I'll watch practice and figure it out Saturday afternoon, hopefully. But let's look at the TV lineup for this week.
Okay. So on Friday, August 16th, these are going to both be on the NBC Sports app. At 3:30, we've got the Xfinity Series practice at Michigan. And then at 4:30, the Xfinity qualifying. So those are both on the app. On Saturday and Sunday, they are both on, everything is on USA. So on Saturday at 12:30, we've got the Cup Series practice and qualifying. And then at 3:30, we've got the Cabo Wabo 250 with the Xfinity Series. And then on Sunday, the big show, the NASCAR Cup Series at 2:30 p.m., the Firekeepers Casino 400. And we shall be there.
let's talk about how Ryan has fared at Michigan in his career here.
Okay. Let's see. His average start, we're going back through 2015 until last year, was 10.3 was his average start, and his average finish is 7.5. And he does have a win here.
Yeah.
2021.
The last 2 years in the new car, what start and finishes did he had?
Okay, in 2022, he started 24th, finished 5th. And last year, start 9th, finish 9th.
Yeah. We referenced it in our podcast last week, the Michigan win. Great episode, post Michigan win. If you guys get a chance to go back and find that one, where Josh Williams comes on and explains to us basically how they held off 2 or 3 cars there at the end of the race on a restart with about 8 to go. So, that win was excellent. I almost went to that race, but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You said I should have went.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did.
And, so this weekend coming up, Michigan is a different breed, a 2-mile track, high speeds. Who are you looking for to maybe have a good chance at winning this weekend? Besides Ryan.
I had to say it fast before you. Gosh. Who? Indeed. I want to say Ryan.
Wait, let's look at that. You want to go back and look at a couple different guys who might have a chance.
You know what? Okay. Thank you for pulling that up. Bubba. Yes, they are talking about him a few times on the broadcast because he's been floating right around that cutoff line, but there seems to be a quiet confidence that's growing within that team. They've been right up there before you know it. I mean, how many times during the race I'm like, oh, Bubba's in 4th. Oh, look at that. Bubba's in 6th. Bubba's in 2nd. I would not count that team out at all. I think they've kind of got their nose down and just plowing to the front. Let's see. Martin. If it's a good day, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be the final year he's wanted.
Yeah, the car blowing up last weekend, and then the Gibbs cars have been having engine problems the last month or so.
Yeah.
Different guys at different times, so it's...
But they said something like it all seems to be different things. It's not like the same thing is going wrong, so I don't even know where to start with them.
Yeah.
So does Kyle Busch feel a little bit... Does he feel frustrated? Because Austin wonder, does he have maybe a little bit of... Yeah, we can get through this, whatever it is. I'm not the biggest Kyle Busch fan, but it just seems like you kind of want to not root for the guy, but yeah, you kind of feel bad for him.
At the crash at Indy, you didn't realize he hurt himself.
Yeah. Did you guys see when he was taking the scissors and cutting that thing off his wrist during the caution?
Yeah. He didn't realize he was injured. They said if they would have raced the next week, he may not have been able to race.
He said he wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah,
so the Olympics came at just the right time for Kyle. Michael McDowell could easily pull off top 5, top 10. Brad's looking pretty good lately.
Yeah. All the goofiness this past weekend. Do you know who the top finishing Ford was in last week's race at Richmond?
Brad?
No.
Oh, I figured that's what you were leading me to.
No, it was Ryan.
Was it Ryan?
Ryan finishing 11th was actually the top Ford. Of course, Joey was actually winning until turn 3 and turn 4, but Ryan's 11th actually was the top Ford in that race.
That's
so
good to see.
It's interesting. This is a home track. Michigan's a home track for Ford.
Yeah.
So I would kind of expect to see the Fords run real well. And you're right, Brad, and even Chris, will show up with pretty good power.
Yeah.
I don't know beyond. I mean, it's so weird watching the Stuart Haas guys kind of flopping around out there, and for glimpses, the Fords run really well through that camp, and then other times they're just I don't even know, like I said, what Ryan Preece was doing. He ruined a really good ending to and a really good story, and changed the whole narrative just by causing that caution. Because there was no other natural cautions on the whole race.
I'd have to go back and really see what happened.
Yeah, and it looked to me like he decided he was just done with him.
I was so busy looking at what's going to happen with Ryan with all the momentum and everything that I didn't even really pay attention to it too much.
So, that'll be interesting this weekend. Weather looks halfway decent.
30 to 40% chance of rain on Sunday.
And we've kind of planned it out that if we got to be there Monday, we'll be there Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll try to tweet out some pictures or send them to Adam so that he can put them out. And hopefully we'll have some good content from the track Sunday afternoon before the race. And this Saturday night.
But
let's not forget Saturday night.
Before the Michigan race.
Yeah, let's not forget Saturday night while we're still talking about this. I didn't even have it in the notes here.
We got another race to go to.
Another race to go to Saturday night. We're doing the double this weekend.
Yep.
Weather permitting on that also. The Lou Blaney Memorial and the Ryan Blaney Family Foundation will have their pop-up tent will be there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a silent auction that should start going up online as the week goes on. Look out for their social media on that. They'll have links to be able to bid on some things. I heard there's some really cool things going to be in there.
It's a great night. Every year they put on such a great show over at Sharon. So if you're in the area, come out.
Watching Dave and Dale run, and we've went a couple times in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Just regular nights that they end up being there.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching them. Dale right now is running really, really well.
Yeah.
And the last time we were there, Dave won a heat race. It was no problem. Just check down on everybody. But they always bring a strong field. It's not like they're just running by themselves out there. There's some great cars, great action. Another great thing that's going on Saturday is that the championship trophy is supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And for a donation, I think they said $5 donation.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, and we'll bring more than that.
Yeah.
You'll be able to take a picture with the championship trophy. Ryan, barring anything weird, is supposed to make an appearance.
He's slated to be there.
Slated to be there. That always depends on travel. Coming from Michigan, practice and qualifying during the day. If it gets backed up or something changes,
Luckily, it's not far.
Yeah, it's not far, but so you just keep an eye out for that. They wanted to do I think they wanted to try to do an autograph session, but it's hard to plan something like that out if you don't know what time.
Yeah.
And and you still have the events of the actual racing, and that's like I said, that's the best part about the Lou Blaney Memorial is the racing is great racing.
Fantastic every year.
So if you get a chance Saturday night to come on out, hopefully, like I said, weather permitting, and even if not, that maybe at least they'll just have the trophy and I just take some pictures with it. It'd be great to do that. If
it pours and that's the only thing we can do,
we'll be ready for it. We'll be ready for it.
Yeah.
So look out for that on their social media channels. Like I said, the next couple of days here this week, because they will be posting things on their online auction that they'll be doing. Like I said, there's some great autographed material, I guess, that Ryan's going to have. So check that out. What else? Anything else?
No, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
We're going to go to that, go home and take a little nap, and then head on up to Brooklyn, Michigan. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a fun weekend. Hopefully the rain cooperates.
Or stays away.
It cooperates by staying away. Yes. All right. So thank you, everyone, once again for tuning into this episode of the Team Blaney podcast. If you'd like to learn more about us, just listen to our very first episode that explores our Blaney racing fandom. You can interact with us on Facebook and Twitter at Team Blaney and on Instagram at team.blaney. And finally, we'd like to encourage you to support the Ryan Blaney Family Foundation. Established in 2018, this organization supports causes like the Alzheimer's Association and UPMC Sports Medicine through fundraisers, events, and membership in the Blaney Bunch Fan Club. To learn more, visit RyanBlaneyFamilyFoundation.org or follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For my co-host Steve Mez, I'm Kate Mez, and we'll catch you next time on the Team Blaney podcast.
Good night, Brookfield. Check out the TikTok.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.